Hi guys, welcome to SimLive. My name is Kiki and today I'll be making Leia Organa from Return of the Jedi in The Sims 4 with the help of The Sims 4 Studio, Photoshop and Blender. First I started with the skirt/bikini texture. To keep that in the Maxis match style, I used some golden in-game textures, but they weren't really enough to recreate the front and the back piece, so I tried my hand at painting the rest of it in the same style. You can see that I'm keeping a reference picture as a guide just above where I'm working. I could have just taken that picture and tried to dial it down and use some filters to try and match that Max's look, but I wanted to paint it because, well, I might as well get some experience in painting in that style, as the more you do something, the simpler it gets, and I'll probably need it for future projects, to be honest. Later you'll see me use small cracks brush to create some textures. This brush is part of a great brush set by Daarken, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's free for download, it's absolutely amazing. I use these brushes all the time and I'll leave a link for it in the description down below. Like always, I just paint one side and then copy and flip it over to the other side to keep it symmetrical and to save some time, and the same for the back piece. I recolored the skirt texture and placed it in the bottom free unused space. In Blender, I opened the skirt mesh and cut some slits in the side by removing part of the mesh. I then appended some legs from the bikini bottom mesh that I'd already imported the Leia bikini texture over that I just painted in Photoshop. Because the skirt mesh only had a face on the outside, I had to create the face on the inside. I copied the selection of the mesh and used the mirror modifier and then flip it and merge the mirror copy to the outside face. I've mirrored it because it will help me with weight painting later on. And then I repeat that process for the back part of the skirt. I cut and duplicate the front and the back part of the bikini bottom and remold their shape slightly. I then modify the shape of the top of the skirt to match the curve of the front piece. I then merged the two objects into one and merged the vertices to attach the skirt to the front piece. If I would have UV mapped the skirt before attaching it to the front piece, it would have saved me an extra step later on, but unfortunately I didn't think of it in time. So then I made an extra cut in the middle of the front piece, so when I attach the edges back to the body, the front piece keeps a 3D shape. And then I repeat the process for the back part. I append the necklace and reshape it so I can use it as the side bands that connect the front and the back part of the bikini. I'll just have to make sure to weight paint it later on to attach it to the hips so that it doesn't move with the neck and the chest, because that would be weird. I then lay the fabric part of the mesh on the fabric texture on the UV map. I append the original skirt, which comes in parts. I merge the parts so I can weight transfer from the original skirt to my new mesh to make sure none of it got messed up while I was editing my mesh. This also weight paints the necklace to the hips. I delete the original skirt and reappend it so it comes in parts again, and use these as a guide to cut my new mesh in the same way. Then I import both the texture and the mesh in the Sims 4 Studio and save it. Next, I create the texture for the top of the bikini in Photoshop, where I'm using the Modesty bra on the skin texture as my base, and the skin texture is just underneath there as a guide so I know where to place everything. I'm creating the wiggle lines with the path tool so I can mask textures over it later on. I paint the shadows first for a 3D effect so that I can overlay the textures as a mask in a bit. I changed the color to match the sheen and shadow it further using the burn and the dodge tools. And then copy paste it to the other side and give it a drop shadow with blending options. Then I repeat that process for the strap attachment. And then I just draw some simple straps with the path tool. So the top is just a texture, so I import it into the Sims 4 Studio and make shadows, specular and normal blank. Don't make emissions blank because that makes your creation invisible. I continue on with the accessories. She has an upper arm bracelet on her left arm and a wrist bracelet on her right arm. But in the Sims 4 Studio, I could only find an upper arm bracelet for the right side. So in this case, I've just swapped them around. And I'm pretty sure you have to be a die-hard fan to have noticed that if I hadn't mentioned it at all. But yeah, too bad, so sad, had to swap it. I then combine all the textures together for the final combined costume and make sure that none of them are overlaying. I create a new package file in the Sims 4 Studio using that lingerie set, and I import the new texture I just combined and make blank shadow, specular and normal again, and then I export the mesh with the new texture. I open it in Blender and append the wrist bracelet, the upper arm bracelet, and the skirt, and merge all the objects and hit save. I then upload the combined mesh in the Sims 4 Studio and voila! We have a whole costume. So I dropped it in my mods folder and did a quick costume test to see if it all worked out, and it did. It worked out well. So on to create a sim, I was given this random dude that we're going to turn into Leia. I did create the hair in a separate tutorial video for which I'll leave a card in the top right corner now. Other custom content I used were Skin Tones version 3 by MsBlue, Whisper Eye Replacement by Dangerously Free Jellyfish, Lipstick by Pyxis, Folie A Deux Skin Blend by SimlishSweetie, and all of those are linked in the description down below, so head over there if you'd like to download them. I'm going to love you and leave you here. Enjoy the showcase of Leia Organa from Star Wars, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me in the comments down below. Have a lovely day and see you later. Bye bye!